All right, peace, 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 family. This is Brother Garfield, and of course, I got my brother Michael Edwards in the building. We're gonna touch on the flat Earth. We're gonna address Brother Sanchez and some of his wild. All right, peace, 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 family. This is Brother Garfield. Hold on there. All right, here we go. All right, all right, all right. So we good. All right, so go ahead, Mike. Let me just introduce Michael Edwards. He's gonna be doing the presentation. Go ahead, my brother.
All right. Well, I appreciate the time, man. I appreciate your platform, my brother, and I appreciate this opportunity so that we can finally deal with this issue once and for all, because it's just a continued plague for our people. So, first, I would like for you guys to actually go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's RBG Hebrew 2. Once we get off of the stream, remember to go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Now,
all right, cool. So what you want me to do, brother? You want me to play the video now, or you want to tell the people?
Let's go with the video. Well, let me give you an introduction for the video. All right.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Okay. The reason that I'm playing this video and I'm aiming this presentation towards our brother Sanchez, and I don't want Sanchez to get the idea that we hate you or I hate you, but what you are and what your community is becoming is a scourge and a plague to our people, and especially the young people, the young minds. Perverted reverse psychology is actually what's the matter with all of these, flat earthers. These people are completely conspiracy theorists, and conspiracy theory doesn't lend itself to data, doesn't lend itself to thought, real thought, doesn't lend itself to linear thinking in any capacity. And so when we have such a great following of people like our brother Sanchez, we got to be accountable on many levels. Number one, manhood, righteousness, truth, reality. And if you're out here teaching, you can't be a credible scholar as a conspiracy theorist. Now, let's go lower. First, we're going to enjoy the introduction to this presentation. And the video that you're about to see is Brother Sanchez and myself narrating Sanchez perverting himself, perverting his women, or the women that are, akin to his cause, and perverting the minds of young people. Again, this brother obviously must be a leader in the community because he has a following, but he has to be accountable. We're going to make him accountable today on many different levels. First, morality. It is wrong to show our black people, our children, the wrong image. Wrong image as relates to defaming our black women, as relates to propagating a culture to them that truly is homosexual at its base. When we've been looking at all of this hip hop stuff we've been dealing with, the hip hop culture should be taken with a grain of salt and an intelligent father. But what we're about to see, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, is a brother, and I want you all to tell me what you think of him in the chat room, everywhere. Tell us what you think of this example. Let's press play.
All right. I'm going to share it right now. Hold on 1 second. Get to the video. All right.
Things about Brother Sanchez. In this video, I want to point out some specific things, like the fact that they in this Arab corner store buying liquor, like that's the shit. And Sanchez got on a green dishwashing glove with 2 fingers cut out of it. That's retarded off the bat. But the saddest thing is these poor Mexican women, or whatever these women is, Mexican, Asian, Mexicasian, whatever they are. Number one, they are being objectified in the video. The whole hook to the song is If that bitch ain't fucking, then I tell her hoe to scram. If the bitch ain't sucking, then I tell her hoe to scram. And they dumb asses back there bopping and dancing to it. These poor dumb women. And all of them look like they're closer to being white women than even Mexican or Asian. Foolish. Sanchez brother got one gold tooth in like this 1986. And Sanchez, you got your wife in this video, nigga. Nigga, I said you got your wife in this video, you goddamn idiot. And look at them poor Mexican women, y'all. You got no ass, got no booty, got all waist. I think Mexican women's booty go up to their waist and it stops there. Got that pudgy stomach and stuff. I ain't gonna say nothing though. But Sanchez, you know you ashamed for this, dog. I'm glad these ain't black women you objectifying. Look at the sister behind him. I'm calling her sister only because she got a small amount of melanin. But that's his wife. And look at the glove this nigga got on. What grown man walks around with a kitchen dishwashing glove on with 2 fingers cut out of it? God damn. Well, I feel sorry for this generation, man. Because y'all call these kind of niggas your leaders. 2 black men with 3 Mexican women. Or 2 black men with 2 Mexican and Asian women. Mexicasian. One of the niggas got a gold tooth. And Sanchez got 2 fingers out with his wife in the video. Objectifying women. And y'all stupid women that like this shit, what's wrong with you? I'm going to say that one more time. I say, you stupid thoughts that like being objectified like this. What the fuck is wrong with you? I said, this is this nigga's wife in the video, and he talking about tell that hoe to scram. If the bitch ain't fucking, then tell her hoe to scram. Man, if my lady would take that kind of shit from me, I respect her, and I wouldn't even fix my mouth to say no shit like that. I don't think my lady would accept that kind of garbage shit from me. Look at this nigga, gold tooth. 1 gold tooth, you hear me? Look at the girl in the black, y'all. Ain't got an ass cheek to first. Oh, man. Sanchez, brother, this is shame. And I should never do this shit again. And let this be a lesson to all y'all niggas that's out there living a double life. What's done in the dark will come to the light. I bet you Sanchez ain't never thought that this video with him and his wife. Look at got his wife vagina camel toe up. Well, that's a moose knuckle. But I bet you this boy here ain't never thought that this here life that he's living would end up superimposed over his conscious life. Look at that guy, ain't got no booty, all waist. Look at this brother wife just back there making a fool of herself. And brother, why you showing us your wife like that? And what the hell is that on your kneecap, man? Well, you must be doing handstands and spins on your kneecap. Well, it look like you got burns on them kneecaps. Oh, man. Sanchez, brother, this is terrible. This is the worst I've ever seen it. This is the worst, man. You're like everything that we teach against, man. You are everything we teach against. Throwing up gang signs with his green glove on. Damn, Sanchez. Nigga, you're a shame.
All right. So that's the first video that we playing. And where we going from here, brother? Go ahead.
Well, it only goes uphill from here because where that video dropped us off at was a low vibration from a brother that I told you must be accountable. If you're teaching the children, the women, your woman, the grown men and all, we can't even operate in that vibration. That's too low. So we got to come up to where he is aspiring to and ask him to be accountable as a scholar, as a teacher. Flat earth theory. Man, I've been dealing with this actually for about, and Brother Garfield probably can be a witness to this, and many of the people that watch me, on my, my dealings here in the conscious community, I come from, a group called the Hebrew War Machine. And the Hebrew War Machine was a great undertaking, a think tank, an operation to bring brothers in unity, not just in this country, but out of this country, Israelites. Now, that was my baby, and I was dealing with a lot of brothers that I consider my real close brothers, and I honor. But I had to leave that organization because of flat earth. Not just flat earth, but flat earth being propagated in my community, the Israelite community, even the Christian community, even the false prophet community, the falling away from faith community. All of us, really, Kemet, all of us, RBG community, all of us will be affected if we fall for the false prophet or the falling away false prophet. The low vibratory patterns that you just saw. Flat earth. I left the war machine because of this kind of mentality. There was a person in there just like Sanchez. So I left it and I struck out on my own to do my own thing. That which I believe the Most High sent me to do, which is this: correction, teaching, proper teaching, offering people real thought. Now, Garfield, the first slide that we have up, can you pull that one? It's the flat earth. I have like 3 of them. I think put 3 in there, but let's just put either one.
I think you got like 5, but I'm gonna put them up right now. So which one you want? You wanted the one with this flat one, right?
Let's do that one first. Yeah,
all right.
Let's do that one first. Now, what we're looking at literally is the product of a miseducated mind that created this picture. And if the creator of this picture was not miseducated, it was served to understand that this picture is the pits as relates to physics, biology, anthropology, cultural and physical at this point, because there are people on the earth now. This monstrosity is what our brother Sanchez would like you to drop out of college, tell your children to drop out of high school and maybe get homeschooled by a miseducation major like Brother Sanchez and many of these brothers in that community, the flat earth. Ladies and gentlemen, look at what's before you. When I was a child, we had toys called a top. This looks like one. Physics, every known science that we can apply, this doesn't match it. Doesn't match it at all. And I'm going to offer you some things today so that you can compare real data to this conspiracy theory, couch potato stoner type projection, teaching in our community. Education is first and foremost, and it should be first and foremost in all of our minds. When we're teaching the people, we should be encouraging them to get higher learning of some sort. Learn what you think you know, Brother Sanchez. Learn what you think you know. Let's put the other picture up, and then we're going to talk a little bit about meteorology.
All right. Here you go, brother.
Now, here is another model, okay? And we're going to call these models, right? Because in any scientific theory, in any conclusion, you have to start with a model. And these monstrosities are the model that flat earthers want you and your children to propagate throughout the ages. Like the people that thought they were going to sail off the end of the earth. They want that mentality to be propagated in our community. What you're looking at is actually another model that the flat earthers put forth. all around the border of this picture is supposed to be, as the flat earthers convey, ice, an ice border, an ice wall. Well, this picture is very much akin to the UN map, which has also been hijacked by these miseducation majors. Can you grab the UN map right quick, Garfield? And we'll come back to this, or I'll just refer to this one while I'm talking about the UN.
This one right here?
Yeah, I'll come back. Yeah, that one right there. Right. Now, this is a rather generic version of what the UN's map is, right? This map is not depicting a flat earth, but it is a flat picture, a one-dimensional picture, which asks you, it begs you to use your mind, your thought. Scale drawings have dimensions that are the same linearly or scale to size, or even as this relates, this is actually the oblate spheroid, which is Earth, and Earth is indeed, without a doubt, an oblate spheroid. Oblate means flattened at the top and the bottom, but wide in the middle. Could be bulbous and not symmetrical even, and can even change shapes, as we'll see a little bit later when we refer to the moon and some of these meteorology ideas. This map, if you look at the continent which we are akin to, if you look at the continent below which we are akin to here, all had the same dimensions as a flat picture. All. Larger at the top, smaller at the bottom. The dimensions of this laid out is the same thing as if you were to take an onion or an orange and cut it at the bottom with 1, 2, 3, 4 slices, all intersecting in the center, and pull the orange open. This is what Sanchez and his community says the world has fooled your children into believing. The world is flat, y'all. But this flat depiction does not lend you to know or to even give you the understanding of what we know to be. A word called hemispheres. Hemispheres. One more time. Hemispheres. Northern and southern hemisphere. The equator splits the two. Now, let's go to the picture of the Earth without atmosphere. Now, when I say atmosphere, not the one you just had, but that was it. Yep. This picture right here is actually what your globe looks like without water, without air, without clouds. It's atmosphere. All of the continents can be seen. All of the structures of the continent can be seen. Even the low points on these particular types of images that are either sonar or different types of radar images. Now, the Marianas Trench can even be seen from these types of images that give us not only temperature, but give us scale. The Earth is not flat. How do we know this? Let's ask meteorology. Let's ask some principles that have never deviated in millions of years of human perception of weather and event. The Coriolis effect. And I'm telling you, all of these flat earth people, including Sanchez, try to hijack everything that is known and concrete about irrefutable data, unchanging weather event. The Coriolis effect. What is the Coriolis effect? The Coriolis effect is a phenomenon, and you all can look these things up while we're talking about them. I have a whole book of notes on this from 3 years ago when I started doing this. So I'm reading from this, but you can pull all this stuff up. Coriolis effect, Coriolis effect. The Coriolis effect is a phenomenon that causes, listen closely, ladies and gentlemen, fluids, or we can understand it to be water and air, to curve as they travel above or even across the Earth's surface. Now, the Coriolis effect, again, has not deviated in millions of years, and I'm going to show you one aspect of meteorology in which it shows definitely the deficit that our brother Sanchez refuses to deal with. That word, hemisphere. Ladies and gentlemen, the next time you encounter a flat earther, give them this word, hemisphere. If there is a northern and a southern hemisphere, there is no flat earth. We're gonna enter that thought, and we're gonna do some data on it, or ask some questions of these flat earthers that they would reply later. But hemispheres, ladies and gentlemen, if you prove 2 hemispheres, you have debunked the flat earth theory or the many flawed theories. I'm from Louisiana. I was born up north, and I was raised in Louisiana. Louisiana and the entire Gulf Coast is Hurricane Alley. Okay. I'm in California right now because I was a part of Hurricane Katrina. Right. I went through all of that hell, and I was very, very, very blessed and favored not to have to endure what some did. These great storms. These things don't happen on a flat earth. You can't tell us that a hurricane in which we can measure, which we can literally fly over with actual airplanes. I think NOAA, and there's about 6 other groups that do storm chasing to that degree. And there are videos that you can go and watch this. These powerful planes flying over and into the eye of a hurricane. Don't believe your lying eyes. This is what the flat earth people want you to believe. Don't believe your lying eyes. Listen to Sanchez, the brother we just listened to, the low vibrational false prophet. But I said, real experience and data is what proves things. Hemispheres debunks the flat earth argument, and through meteorology. Why do hurricanes spin, ladies and gentlemen? There's many sources you can go out and just type this in Google. This is simple information. This is verifiable data, visually and with numbers and with theory. Why do hurricanes spin? Well, we know definitely that hurricanes, the center of the hurricane is called an eye. It is a low pressure center. It's a low pressure center. Is that somebody joining? Oh, I thought that was me, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The eye of a hurricane is literally the center of a hurricane. How does the Coriolis effect relate to a hurricane? Well, the high pressure air surrounding the center of the eye, ladies and gentlemen, listen please. The high pressure air surrounding the center of the eye constantly, because of the rotation of the earth, is rushing towards the center of these large storm systems. Because the air is rushing towards the center, it keeps getting what? Deflected by this low pressure. High pressure meeting low pressure. Now, in the northern hemisphere, Air on all sides of an eye, the eye of a hurricane, keeps getting deflected to the right. And this is exactly the opposite in the southern hemisphere. Hurricanes in the northern hemisphere spin counterclockwise. Hurricanes in the southern hemisphere spin clockwise. Say this one more time. Hurricanes in the northern hemisphere spin counterclockwise and opposite in the southern hemisphere. I experienced a hurricane. It's real. It's not a conspiracy that the entire Southeast Louisiana was damn near underwater and damn near blown to bits by air. I watched oak trees be uprooted out of my front window. But Sanchez lives in the South too, or did at one time, or at least sounds like a country boy. If you don't know reality when you see it, how can you be accountable or credible? In millions of years and in hundreds of years of recorded meteorology, there has never been one hurricane in the northern hemisphere that we can watch through satellites or through observable meteorology tools. There has never been a deviation in that which I just told you. Not one time. One more time before we move on. Hurricanes spin clockwise in the northern, counterclockwise in the northern and clockwise in the southern, not deviating.
Quick comment. There's a do you want anybody to jump on the panel with you? There's a brother named Kufu Shabazz who said he's a flat earther. He would like to get in on the conversation. Not right now, but as soon as you're done talking, or if you don't want that, I mean, it's up to you. It's totally up to you. It's your show.
Absolutely. I'll take some questions, but actually I'm going to put forth data. So I'm not going to actually want to answer any questions after the presentation. I'm going to ask some questions because we are all hearing what I believe and what we prove to be true here. Okay. So yes, we want to bring the brother on after, and I promise I won't be long. We got maybe 20 minutes left here.
Yeah. What's this picture that you have up? Is this a picture you said without? What is this picture that we're looking at? Because a lot of people think the Earth is a globe, but it's not really a globe. It's like a funny shape, but it's not an exact circle. Can you explain the picture?
That's right. This picture is exactly the odd, misshapen nature of planets. Okay, this picture is literally the shape of the Earth. I think this is a sonar type of recreation where they're actually literally sending the sonar to the bottom of the seafloor on all of these different areas, and then they're cross-referencing it with satellite images for the temperature differences here. I think that is. But here we're missing what is called atmosphere, that air that we talked about, and that water that we just talked about as relates to the Coriolis effect. All of those things are missing from this picture. So this is the rock that we call Earth. An oblate, ugly, misshapen sphere, which is actually natural. Ladies and gentlemen, when you look at the stars, and especially my school of thought, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, we are commanded to know the times and to study the stars and to deal with astrology to a great degree. Ladies and gentlemen, when you look up in the sky, the Bible tells you this, that all of creation testifies to the glory of that which is greater than you and I. We've never created a planet. But when you look up in the sky, you can definitely see that which you definitely didn't with your hands create. And it matches what is natural. You don't see any flat stars. You don't see any flat moons. You don't see any flat heavenly bodies. And that would lend us to another ridiculous thought that we would be that much unique out of the billions and billions and billions of stars just in this galaxy. We would be the only flat one that we could see. No. This is an actual image. You can verify this through using some of the websites like NOAA. I think it's called NOAA, the acronym. I may be confused on that acronym, but you can just look these images up. Earth without water and air. Now, the Coriolis effect, if we were to add the atmosphere back to this and add known physics, which we know the Earth to be spinning from west to east, and we actually know dimensions of the Earth. We know its circumference. We know the lowest point on the Earth, which is actually represented in many of these types of pictures that you're seeing right before you. Super deep boreholes. I think they're called colas or cola, K-O-L-A. K-O-L-A, I think is the name. These are large, deep chasms in the Earth. Many of them mimic what is the Marianas Trench, the lowest point on the seafloor that we know. If Earth was flat, let's go back to our first flat Earth picture before we go on into a little bit more meteorology and into culture.
Which one? This one here? Or which one? This
the
one?
Very first one. Yeah, that one. This one, and I beg to ask you, flat earther, when you come in, are there roots hanging out of your flat Earth? But these are some of the questions that I'm going to ask you. What are the dimensions of your flat Earth? Your flat pizza dish Earth. How deep is it from where my feet is or your feet is to the bottom? Does the sky ever touch the ground to the tune that the upper atmosphere meets where your feet stand? Garfield, am I still clear here on this line? Because my phone is...
Yes, sir.
Kinda,
yep, you're clear as day.
Okay, good. And so, again, that first question, we place forth. Second question, really, why has the Coriolis effect not...
Hey, Mike, you there? Can't hear you, bro. Hey, Mike, are you there? Let me stop sharing. Go back to that screen. Hey, Mike, can't hear you, brother. All right, so what I'm going to do in the meantime, family, if you have any questions or you want to get in on the panel, let me know. And you could inbox me on Facebook, Garfield Reed, or you can listen, family. I don't believe in the flat Earth. I don't believe the Earth is a globe either, like a round globe. It has a funny shape, but it's definitely not flat. Hey, for anybody who has not subscribed yet to the channel, please subscribe. And everybody, even if you're going to troll the chat, at least like the button and share the show. You know what I'm saying? Propaganda destroyer. He said God shut his ass. That is funny. That is funny. But Mike, I think he got a signal issue. All right. In the meantime, family, if anyone has any questions, write your questions down. We're going to get Michael on. He's going to be on for probably like around another 15, 20 minutes. Then we're going to, he's going to ask some of the flat earthers some questions, and then we take it from there. Because I think this flat earth thing, the reason why yo, these comments is so funny, man. Pseudo prevention hotline 1-800-PROVEN. This is like magician telling you the other magician is tricking you. Yo, I can't, yo. Hey, go on my Facebook. My Facebook is Garfield Reed. Just go to Garfield Reed and inbox me, and I'll send you the link and let you come in, brother. All right. Ah. A couple years ago, over 2,000 years ago, almost 3,000 years ago, the Greeks had come out and said that what do you call it? That the Earth was a globe. And I'm gonna show y'all something real quick, right? Hold on, let me show you something real quick. Since Mike is out and I'm gonna wait for him to come back, but I want y'all to check something out with this globe thing, right? Global. Oh, Mike, you back?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, brother. I don't know why it dropped me.
Hey, no problem, brother. You're doing good. Hold on a second. I want
Okay.
to show the folks something real quickly here. Spherical Earth, right? When you look at the spherical Earth, I'll show y'all two articles real quick, right? I want y'all to look at this real quick with the spherical Earth. Hold on there. So Mike, what you want me to do? You want me to kick the other one out?
Yeah, kick the other one out. I don't know why in the world it's still up there. That's crazy.
All right, hold on. Let me eject it. All right.
Okay, yeah.
All right, cool. So you're good. All right. Let me show y'all something real quick, right? Google spherical Earth, right? And you look at the Wikipedia article and you come down, it says Hellenistic astronomy, right? But when you look at the Hellenistic folks, there's a guy by the name of man, what the hell is his name? But either way, these guys were talking about a global Earth before anybody else, right? And hold on a second. Hold on one second.
And I had some shit set up that I put more than 16 hours for and about to hand it over to another fuck nigga.
Who that?
More than 16 hours setting up some shit.
Right, mute your mic a little bit. Mute your mic a little bit, fam.
That's fuck you, bitch, nigga. It's all good. I just change it around and keep it for myself.
What's that? What's it?
I can't believe this pussy ass nigga tried.
All right, I don't know who that is.
I'm like,
I don't know.
Sound mad, don't he?
Yeah, like, why are you all mad? Why are you mad? We just here to, we chilling right now. If you got a question for us, I mean, I'll gladly take your question. Are you ready to act like a civilized human being right now? All right. How did he get in the chat? How did he get in the chat?
What is that he playing? Is he playing a video?
I don't know. But how did he get in the chat?
Man.
Well, that's okay. I got to investigate
Who
that.
is that, brother? Who is that, Garfield?
I have no idea. One stop for gamers. How did you get in the chat?
Wow. That's probably one of the flat earthers. They probably slick as heck. Sitting around with nothing to do all day. Learning how to hack Google Hangout, probably.
Oh, okay. All right. So where are we at now? If you have any questions,
yeah, let me go to we dealt with the Coriolis effect a little bit, and I'll wrap that up, and let's go to the next slide, and then we can bring our brother in, because I know he's itching. I know you want to come in, so
all right, cool. All right, let me go back to this picture here. Which one of the pictures? You have this one, you have this one, you have that one that you talked about, you have the Egyptian.
You can stop there. You can stop there because I'm gonna work into that.
All right.
Okay. Now, momentum. Momentum is something that occurs on any moving object, right? Either on the object or the trailing energy that causes it to move, all right? Momentum. I'm from Louisiana, and just so happened to be, I was born in Michigan, right? If I was to fire, and this is something that you can actually look up, any ballistics information about momentum and long distance shooting or long range shooting, you'll have the same conclusion that we're going to come to here. Momentum. If I was to fire a bullet from Louisiana to Michigan, that bullet prospectively from my view in Louisiana would have a very different outcome than just simply landing due north, right? We're talking about thousands of miles here. And the scale of this is what I want to point out, because Louisiana is closer to the equator than Michigan by a few hundred or 1,000 or so miles. Okay. Points nearer to the equator, nearer to the more bulbous areas of the earth with the atmosphere and the water. Points near the equator spin faster than at the poles. Okay. This oblate spheroid flattened at the top and bottom and bulbous around the sides. Momentum. If you shot a bullet from Louisiana to Michigan, it would not simply land due north. That energy or that momentum would be conserved because of the spin of the earth. That bullet definitely would land off course somewhere in New York, due east, simply because of the rate of spin of the earth and its effect on momentum. All of these things are addressed with the Coriolis effect. The Coriolis effect is not just a meteorology term, but it deals with everything, even ballistics, bullet ballistics. Now, what we're looking at right here, and this is a beautiful depiction, and I know the brothers that know me, you know I'm an Israelite, but this is actually our culture, right? We're all black, and we all have Africa as a root. Okay, so this is called the Papyrus of Tamanu. Okay, you can pull it up. Papyrus of Tamanu. What you're looking at, Shu on the right, Nut on the top, which is this long, slender female with her arms and legs extended. The man, Sonnet is calling me right now. This is not knocking me off, is it? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you.
Okay. I'm gonna have to do it blind till he stopped. Dang, man, I need my laptop. But anyway, this Geb is the man laying what seems to be on his back here. Okay. These are principles of nature, and this is definitely a creation papyri that shows the coalescing of mass, matter, and event, which is weather, which we were still discussing. Shu is the wind, Nut is the sky, and Geb, the brother there with the very large penis, is the earth. You can see his body twisted and moving, not static. Right? The picture is static. The picture is one-dimensional. But I'm going to ask you to use your brain. Everybody put your thinking caps on for 1 second. I asked you before, and this is what we're going to ask brother when he comes in, because we want him to address this too, because the ancients knew what even we know today. I asked the brother, is there a point on your flat earth where the sky actually touches Geb at the corners, at the ends of your flat earth? And if it does not, then it would lend us to the thought that you have a free-floating sky with no boundaries, even no gravity and no spin. Or can you think and lend yourself to understanding that what you see here is actually a 360-degree panoramic projection of the coalescing of mass and matter? Nut is actually surrounding Geb on every side, not just the front side and the side and the back side that we're looking at, but the sky surrounds Geb, not just over. This is why you see her pictured here in an actual arc, an arc. Now, again, the ancients depicted what actually in physics is the question of the day for your planet. How does your sky stay with Geb? How does your Nut, flat earth Nut, how does it stay with Geb? Does it continue just arcing over him? And does it touch Geb at the corners. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm asking you to think, paint a picture in your mind. Do you have a free-floating earth and a free-floating sky? Where are the borders? What holds the sky in place? Because when we look up, we see different cloud patterns every second. I said the ancients believed the same thing that modern science projects today. Not a flat earth, not a flat dimension. Again, Nut is surrounding Geb 360 degrees, not just where her toes and fingers end. This is just where flat one-dimensional drawings end. But again, this is a creation paper showing the coalescing of mass and matter. Creation, not flat. Now, let's deal with, well, I have about 5 or 10 more things, but I want to just actually pose some questions and then bring our good brother in. And so I'm going to ask the audience in the chat to remember these questions. Garfield, remember these questions if I forget to bring them to him.
Hey, brother.
Number one.
I just sent Sonny to the link, so he wants to jump on. All right. Okay,
cool. All right. Number one question for the brother that's going to come in. And brother, please don't think I'm going to abuse you or put you, down. Have the guts to come in and present what you think. Okay, that's respectable, even if it's terrible. What are the dimensions of your flat earth? How wide? How deep? 2 simple questions as relates to the dimensions of your flat earth. Number 2, the Coriolis effect.
Oh,
how does it?
I thought you were going to jump on. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Right now.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mike.
How does the, okay, yeah. Number 2, how does the Coriolis effect, which must have spin hemispheres, plural, southern and northern, and many other factors to act upon. How does the Coriolis effect work on a flat earth? And why has the Coriolis effect not deviated? Why don't we get counterclockwise hurricanes up here? Why don't we get, clockwise hurricanes in the northern? Why don't we get those? Katrina was spinning backwards like nuts. And so was every other. Question number 3. How does momentum and gravity work on a flat earth? Momentum, gravity, Coriolis effect, northern and southern hemispheres. Last question. Let's back up to the let's go to the ice wall picture really quickly, and we'll give him a 4th question. I believe that's 4. Garfield, you there? You on the phone, man?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm here, beloved.
Okay, I'll keep talking until you get up there.
All right.
So that 4th question.
What do you want me to share, or what do you want me to do?
Yes, sir. Share the flat earth one with the white borders, like an ice wall around it. That's what they say it is.
All right. So that's the, I'm gonna tell you which one is that.
It's the second one.
Second one. All right.
Yeah, you got it right there. Yeah. All right. And this is going to be the coup de grace, right? Give me the coup de grace. Does this thing, this monstrosity right here, does this spin, or is it stationary? Part B to the question. The outside of this monstrosity is supposedly ice, but we know that glaciers breaking every day all around the poles, north and south. We see them. We have video. We have military video even of even other governments, not just the one that you won't believe. Ladies and gentlemen, do a quick model in your mind or write on your kitchen table with your children. If you got some sand around, grab it. Pour sand, or in your mind mentally, put a sand border on your kitchen table. Build it up high, maybe 4 inches high, the sand around the edges in a circle, like you see this white border. Our glaciers break. Their glaciers are on the corners of this earth that has billions and billions and billions of gallons of water in it. Free floating water, water that has what is called the North Atlantic Current. Water that is salt water and fresh water and don't mix. Water that has high tide and low tide that is affected by the moon creating a bulge around our earth. The dance, the beautiful dance that creates high tide and low tide that fishermen have to rely on every time they go cast a reel. Flat earth man tell me, if I take my sand off of my table and put my finger on the side of it and I create a break in the sand, like the glaciers that we see breaking, what happens to the water as relates to physics, even on a static plane? What happens to the water? It drips off the side. And what happens to the water if it's spinning? It flies off the side. My question, does this thing spin? Why are glaciers breaking and the earth is still filled with water? Actually, the seas are rising. Doesn't lend you to any conscionable thought, this monstrosity. So now, and I don't know if the brother that comes in, if he's a Bible believer or not, because we got a lot of Bible for that. I read Hebrew and I deal with it deeply. So if he's that, we can jump into that and all that after he faces this crucible. Those questions. Chat room, help us remember. Garfield, help us remember. All right, let's bring the brother in.
All right, cool. All right, so let me stop sharing and let me get, as a matter of fact, this is what I'm gonna do, man. I'm just gonna let me see. We got 182 watching. All right, who wants to come in the chat? Whoever wants to come in the chat, send me your put your email. Cool. I hit you up on Facebook. All right, hit me up on Facebook right now, beloved. Kufu Shabazz. All right. I don't know what type of name is that, Kufu Shabazz, but hey, to each his own. To each his own. Hey, let me ask you also, Mike, what are you working on right now? I know you do a lot of stuff. You work in your community and all that stuff. What are you working on right now, brother?
Well, I'm gearing up for the summer. Wow, I'm excited about that too. I jumped right on top of you, didn't I? I'm gearing up for the summer. I'm a musician, everybody. I'm a concert pianist, and I play every genre: jazz, blues, rock, gospel, classical, everything, right? So every week, other than my music ministry that I do at churches and everywhere else, and I even do clubs and parties, in restaurants. Every summer, the children that I work with at one of these particular ministries, man, we go out on street ministry with the little bitty children. And I know y'all have seen like the ISUPK out on street patrol, doing their things with the camps. But I think it's amazing that when the children go out, man, they go out, they sing. I bring all my instruments and my band and all of this stuff, and we rock out, man. Right. And these children are able, man, to actually bring some of their, behaviorally challenged friends. And man, I swear, music is one of the most powerful forces in this galaxy, man.
Unifiers.
I mean, it's one of the things that can take your will without you asking, Don't worry, be happy. Y'all remember that song?
Yep.
Don't worry, be happy. Bobby McFerrin.
Kufu Shabazz.
I never bought a Bobby.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Anybody else want to join, let me know. I'll send an email to you and you could jump on. Now, when you come on, remember, you got to be respectful because I'll eject you in a minute because I don't know you. So, if it's somebody who I know, then I say, oh, he always act like this anyway. So, I know how to deal with people. But we can't be disrespectful. because once you do it, that energy is going to be, returned. It's going to be reciprocal. So shout out to my brother Sonetta, by the way, too, man. And Monica, if you have the link for Sonetta's awards, put it in the chat. I know we got a lot of people that support Sanchez in the building. Of course, like the show, people. I want to get 100 likes in the next 10 minutes before the brother comes off. But hey, I think the brother is in the building. I think he's here. Hold on, let me see if he jumped on. Nah, he didn't jump on yet.
While he's coming on, let me finish that thought, because these children I deal with is really important, man. These children, like I'm saying, every summer we go out with these kids and we actually deal with people, not as far as just religion, but just with music, man. And that's one of the things that I'm encouraging a lot of the brothers in California out here with me to join me on doing, because I got a band and we move around, and I got a lot of access to music industry people, not just gospel or nothing like that, but straight up. So that's something I'm very excited on. If anybody's in California and you're looking for actual placement work, if you're a musician and you need a job plan where you can sign a contract and have somebody actually help you with that, I'm your man. I do that. And so I've helped lots of people be placed as musicians, and even people that I work with in my band. So that's two things that I'm very heartfelt about.
All right.
And
So
I'm telling you, there's so many musicians out here, brother, so many musicians that can't make a nickel off of what they're doing because they haven't been trained how to. And I do that, man. So I'm telling you, any brother in California and you need to make your trade turn over, contact me. My email address, I'll give it later.
Yeah, how is Sonetta scared of Sanchez when Sanchez was on his channel? Didn't him and Jabbar debate or something like that? Yeah.
That's Sanchez's fan saying that, bro.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do, family. And remember, no disrespect in the chat. You're gonna get kicked out. All right. And for those who didn't watch the show this morning, brother Jabari, a beautiful interview, man. A lot of information, a lot of knowledge. Brother Ank jumped in. So it was a beautiful show this morning. All right. Let's see if the brother comes in, and because you got to
reassure the brother again, man. Reassure him again that I'm not gonna, we're gonna respect him.
Yeah, Google.
Just want to answer some questions.
Where you need to come on, hang on a second. Google Chrome? No, that's the other. You don't need no Google Chrome.
No, you can just go right through your email. Click that link.
The Facebook, my Facebook is Garfield Reed.
Man, I wish Sanchez would call up. If all of them people are Sanchez's, miseducants, why don't y'all get Sanchez in here? I know Sanchez would probably puke if he had to actually answer questions. Well, we got his representative, so hopefully this is not Sanchez's representative.
Hey, where do you think? Because the first time I heard about the flat Earth was the brother. He used to be in the back chats with us, man. But no, he wasn't with us.
The only one that I remember from back during that time, like about 3-4 years ago, was the dude that I left the War Machine about. I can't remember his name.
I know him. I know who that is. That's a crazy dude, man. He's very funny dude. Yeah.
And very disrespectful too.
Very disrespectful. There's this dude named what the hell they call him again, man? He called me Garfield. I can't read. That's what he called me. He meant
what?
He's a Hebrew brother, man. I forgot what his name is. He's into this flat earth. Man. Remember when I called you? Because I had a debate on Debate Talk for you, and I said, yo, bro, this ain't my lines. You go do the debate for me. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Me, you, LeRon, to take on these other three crazy dudes. But let me ask you a question. How much do you blame your community, though, for this flat earth? Because a lot of them is into this. Even Nazi, bro. I got the video. Remember I played it on my presentation with about Zion? I played that video when you said that it's because of this dude was the dude that made you kind of leave the War Machine, because you felt like the War Machine was going in a direction that it didn't need to go in. And I think secretly the other brothers in the War Machine believe that nonsense too, man. I think that's what pissed you off. But I can't say
that's what got me. That's what got me, because we claim as what we were and what the brothers still are. You know, I still respect them as scholars in that particular right, but when you're able to be pulled off into insanity like that, and you consider everything to the tune that it will change your belief and actually make you look over things, like, brother, we study and train. I've been training with Hebrew for about like maybe 9 years. And bro, I had a debate with two brothers. I took on these young brothers, and I like these young brothers. They were Israelites. They were very terrible with the Hebrew language and using Strong's Concordance only. And there are purposeful mistakes in there. And you have to be careful with that Tanakh when you're making assertions. We were dealing with the word, I think it was firmament. And the word firmament is akin to the word rakia, even with that phonetic in English, Raykia. And that means that has to do with the arch and not necessarily flat. They were making a assertion saying the word was raka, and raka is hammering flat, right? And they were propagating that to every Israelite brother that they knew. And many Israelites don't dedicate themselves to reading Hebrew and studying any of the different dialect. So it spreads like a cancer, man. If somebody come tell you this says raka, and you're not that good, and then you look in the Strongs and it look like that, but it actually is rakia, and that's not the same thing, you know. But this is how the stuff ends up in our community, and I blame a lot of them brothers because of their lack of study.
All right,
their hard head.
All right, I got the brother in the building. Peace and love, brother Kufu. Peace and love, brother. Welcome to the Dagger Squad channel. I hope you subscribe to my channel too, bro. Not because you're coming on you gotta subscribe to my channel, bro. You gotta subscribe. you know Dagger Squad be dropping that information, bro. Don't hate. All right, let me
subscribe to RBG Hebrew too, please, ladies and gentlemen. RBG Hebrew too.
All right, let me ask you this, bro. You believe in a flat Earth? Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Hold on. Why you sound so low? Hold on. Let me turn you up a little bit. All right, let me turn up mic the same amount because I don't want nobody to say they sound louder than the other. Let me turn my mic up a little bit. All right. All right, brother. So now you believe in a flat Earth. So Mike has some questions for you first. Are you prepared? Are you ready, my brother?
Yeah, I'm prepared.
All right, cool. Because we're not going to do the whole back and forth and disrespect and all that stuff. We're coming in here and we're going to deal with this like brothers. Because that's first and foremost. We brothers, we might disagree, but we brothers. Look at me and Mike. Me and Mike disagreeing a lot, although we're agreeing a lot. But we brothers on this stage. All right. All right. Now, what's the first question? Yes, sir. What's the first question you have for him, Mike?
All right. First, and greetings to you, brother Kufu.
Shout out, brother.
All right. The first question, I believe it was relating to the picture that one of the pictures I put up. I don't know which model of flat Earth you subscribe to. If you have a picture, you can submit that, or you can reference it where we can go look at it. But my question is the dimensions. The first question is, what are the dimensions of your flat Earth? Like the depth from your feet to the bottom. Second question, it's A and a B to that. To each one of these questions is A, B, and a C. So if you could write in or keep it in your mind, the dimensions, how deep from the floor, from your foot to the bottom, and then as relates to also the breadth, the length, width, depth. Okay, those three, and then the sky. How does the sky relate to your flat Earth? I don't know if you saw the whole presentation, but we put up the Papyrus of Tamanu, and I said that the Papyrus of Tamanu depicts Nut in a 360-degree covering manner of the Earth. So where does your sky stop, and does it ever like pinch down to touch the edge of your flat Earth? How does the sky relate to your Earth, and how does the sky stay in course with the Earth? Do you understand those questions, brother?
I understand those questions, sir, but asking me how deep the flat Earth is It's almost a ridiculous question. I don't see how a person would know that. With flat Earth,
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you
well,
why, brother.
Hold on, Mike.
I'm sorry. I don't want to.
Let him
Yeah,
respond.
you're right. Let me not
All
do
right, so
that.
let's forget that part of the question right now. You're talking about the depth of the earth, if it's flat.
Yes.
Actually, if it's flat, all right, we're gonna get back to that. See
let
the
me try
other
to answer that question though.
yeah.
The furthest that I know that they have dug down is 8 miles. So that's the furthest, that's the deepest I know that they have went.
Is that a
And that was
dig site or is that a natural? Is that a natural chasm or a dig site like oil well digging? Or
we as human beings, Earth is 8 miles.
okay, if it's deeper than the Marianas Trench, can you refer us to it? What that dig site is?
I could right now. I wasn't prepared for that, sir.
All right, cool. Respect that. Let's move on. What's the other question, Mike?
Okay. The next question is relate to, huh? I'm sorry. Was you saying something, brother?
Yeah, he said, what was the next question? I said, it was, where does the sky touch the ground?
Yes.
Which is another question.
I know. Physics.
Where does the sky touch the ground? That's the question?
I'm gonna ask you to think about it. I'm gonna restate the question quickly so you can get a mental picture. Okay. If you take your hand, make it flat, brother.
Yes, sir.
And then the other hand, make it flat over the top of it. Like parallel, flat. Like one hand down flat. No, down flat. Yeah, there you go. Right there. The bottom is your flat earth. The top is the sky.
Okay.
I'm asking you at the ends of your earth, wherever the distance is, how does that relate to the sky? How does this flat earth contain the elements, which is the sky? Does it, just school us on what does the sky have to do with the ground? I mean, because our understanding is that the sky surrounds the earth. Yes. But if you have a flat model, your sky sits on top of the earth without a link. Okay. So when I say, does it ever touch the ground? I'm saying it would have to. And it sounds crazy, but this is physics that I'm dealing with. The reason I'm asking these questions, the reason I'm asking them, because we have to deal with physics and data. Now, if it doesn't touch at the end, you have 1 second. I'm gonna let you get at it because I want you to understand. If it doesn't touch at the end, in some manner, that's crazy. I mean, you'd have to give us another theory on how it does that. How does the sky stay? We see different clouds every day. But what, that blue thing up there, that blue essence, the sky, the clouds, the condensation, the ozone, the upper atmosphere, how does all that stay floating, brother? Please school us on that.
Well, I don't know.
And how does it change? All of that. School us on the whole thing.
I don't know what you're talking about with the sky. You talk about the firmament touching the ground, then we can talk.
Okay, firmament, that word would be harakia in Hebrew, the firmament. And that is a singular. That's why I'm asking you, listen closely. The sky floats above us. When I said to you earlier, Sanchez wants us all to not believe our lying eyes. When I look up at the sky, it's always above me. At the furthest point of land, the sky is always above me. That means that you have to tell me about your flat earth. How does the atmosphere not float off into interstellar space, brother?
Now, are you looking at my screen?
Oh, yes. That's why I'm asking you, how does the sky work? Does it touch the ground at the edges? Does it touch the ice border? Is it a glass dome? What is it, brother?
A little bit more specific when you say sky. Are you talking about oxygen? Are you talking about air? Because that's what the sky is. You know that, right?
Okay, I'm going to give you all of what I just said again. Okay, listen closely because you have questions and I want you to understand the actual question. The sky has, brother, the sky has a lower atmosphere which you and I are breathing, The sky has an atmosphere where the jet stream flows, and then there is a upper atmosphere. But all of that, as relates to the Bible, is called the firmament. And the Bible says that God separated the firmament now and even divided waters from waters. Now, those pictures, and please put them back up, brother, because we got to deal with this. If you're going to the Bible, if that's what you're asserting with the rakia, rakia does not mean flat. Look it up. Well, I'll give you the strong number because I want you to really go in on this now. Come on. Don't just show us pictures. Give us data. And if you're going to go into the Hebrew, I want you to tell us what harakia means. 7549 in your Strongs. HARAQIA. That is not 2 or 3 or 4, different things. It's all understood as the firmament.
Hey, Mike, can I ask a question real quick? Did the brother,
yes, brother,
did he bring up the Bible?
He used that rakia. He put that up, firmament,
Okay,
and rakia. And because I'm so experienced with these brothers that are falling away in the Israelite,
so I'm asking
the Israelite brothers that believe that,
yeah,
they use that picture and that word.
All right, Kufu.
Yes,
Go ahead,
sir.
my brother. Respond, brother. You have the floor.
Let me just say this. We just spent, I'll say about 10 minutes, and we have not dealt with the spinning earth or if the earth is flat. So with that being said, I'll entertain you because you're not about to ask me no real question I can see. And no disrespect, brother.
Brother, 1 second. You can't disrespect me. I asked you questions. Are you going to answer the questions? Because we got 3 more and you haven't answered the other 2, but you're showing pictures, you're showing harakia, and you're giving the wrong tense and term and assigning it wrong already. Are you going to answer my questions, or are you going to just come and do the pseudo thing?
Your questions was
you have pictures up there that say the firmament.
Yes,
that
sir.
word comes from the Torah, Genesis 1, right?
Yes. Are you calling that the sky?
I'm telling you, brother, I just told you what I call the sky. Do you remember what I said the sky is?
You said it was a lower atmosphere
that you breathe,
right?
Where the jet stream is, and what else did I say? There's an upper atmosphere where your so-called ozone layer is, and even the things that have to do with the aurora borealis. Okay. I don't know if you know about any of this stuff, but brother, come on. We need data. That picture with the bubble over the dome, I asked you specifically about that before you showed the picture. I said, does your sky meet the ground at any point? And you show us a picture of the sky meeting the ground, and then you say, that's crazy. See, you see, that's how you get in trouble. Brother, let's deal with the questions, because you're just stabbing yourself to death. You showed this picture.
We are never going to get
and you don't want to answer my question.
You have to be real
Please
clear,
address
Mike. Are you talking about the firmament? Because when you say the sky,
I'm talking about what you're pointing to right here, calling it the firmament. Whatever you want to call that, I just told you what I call the atmosphere. I showed the people earlier a model even without the atmosphere. You're calling it the firmament. You're picturing it as a globe or a bubble. And I'm asking you, what is that? And how does that work as relates to physics for our children and our people that you're telling to go drop out of high school? People like you, brother. And I respect you, but I got to turn it up here because you're stalling. You're stalling. Let's spit it out, bro. Let's spit it out, brother. Come on, man.
All right, give him 2 minutes. Go ahead, brother.
How deep is flat Earth? I kept it real, Mike. I said I don't know.
Okay, brother. Well, when you say you don't know, and then you assert that I'm saying something crazy, but then you show the picture.
No.
You see what I'm saying? Brother, that doesn't stand in scholarship. What we deal with, you can't do that. You can't do that. Now, can you explain this monstrosity you're showing us? Because I talked about it, brother.
Yeah.
And I'm asking you a direct question, please.
Mike, the Most High, the firmament.
Okay, so tell me, what did the Most High confirm to you about that as relates to the question I asked? Does the firmament touch the ground, or does it touch even your ice border, the wall, the
Look at
edge?
the screen.
I'm
Mike, look
looking
at the
at it,
screen.
and you're telling us yes or no, brother. Come on, yes or no. We see the screen. The screen says yes. The screen says you are telling us right now. The screen, brother, is telling us that you're saying right now that this sky touches the ground as if it's a window, as if it's a globe. I like it's an ice globe or a snow globe, brother. You
I would let
you see what I'm saying?
explain, Mike.
Say again, brother.
I wish you would let me explain, Mike.
Oh, please do. That's what I'm asking. I keep saying please. Please do.
Now, in 1998, Mike, there was a brother named Admiral Byrd. He traveled around the ice wall.
South Pole. Yes, I'm very aware of Admiral Byrd. Yes.
But after that, the Antarctic Treaty came into play.
Mhm.
Now, why would they need an Antarctic Treaty, Mike, that keeps people from going down there? And you want me to answer a question that people can't even go down and do independent research in the Antarctic? Now, you know that,
Brother,
right?
I can prove, you asking me a question, I can prove to you that not only Admiral Byrd went there on an expedition once, well, Admiral Byrd went there until he died, and there are other governments today doing expeditions to the South Pole with icebreakers a million, brother. It's not undiscovered, and it's not the conspiracy lie that you're asserting again. Now, you just went back to Admiral Byrd. You went to Admiral Byrd, and Admiral Byrd's words himself said that on the other side of the South Pole, I'm giving you Admiral Byrd's words, brother. This is a scholar world we're dealing with. Admiral Byrd said on the opposite side of the South Pole, there is an area as large as the United States that is undiscovered. Now, on the opposite side, Google it. Google it. Everybody that's in the chat, Google the phrase that I just said and watch a video on Admiral Byrd. Admiral Byrd did over, Admiral Byrd did over 20 some odd expeditions to the South Pole. And I don't know what you think people haven't found out, but brother, there's plenty of information about what Admiral Byrd saw and what the actual Chinese government have done and what the Indian government has done and all of the United Nations have done in collusion. Brother, I don't know what you're coming here with that is, because you won't answer a question. Now you're asking me questions about Admiral Byrd, a white man that really, if you want to believe in conspiracy theory, you shouldn't believe a word he said. Why? Because he's your so-called enemy as relates to that Bible. I'm your brother. You're arguing with me, but you believe Admiral Byrd. Admiral Byrd said he went there, though, brother. He went there. That's what the white man said. He went there.
I'm your brother too. So one of us
absolutely, you're my brother.
We coming up with two different conclusions. So it's not a beef. It's just that we thinking different. Now one of us is
brother,
wrong.
It's not a beef. It's not a beef. Yes, I can assure you of that.
One of us is defending Masons right now, and it's you, Mike.
Now, if you're gonna do that, brother, we're gonna have to stop the conversation because I can't let you do that. That's an insult to me because I have brothers that are Masons, and I don't see anything wrong with it. Okay, so I think that's an insult. I don't want to do that. Let's get back to scholarship. Masons have nothing to do with a flat earth. Masons didn't give you that picture that you brought here, dragged up in here, and you can't even explain. No Mason in the world would be that disrespectful to children, this dear sister that's in here, and the people that are listening. No Mason around the globe would do what you just did. I called you before you brought this mess, and you won't answer a question. Now you're calling me a Mason. I'm going to give you one more shot, brother, then I'm going to ask Garfield to chunk you out, all right? Let's answer the picture that you put up here. I just gave you the word for it in Hebrew. That monstrosity that you're calling there is only half of what the word ha-rakia is. I showed the people what ha-rakia is in Hebrew here, I'm telling you, and in the Kemet culture through Papyrus of Tamanu, a 360-degree panoramic covering of the globe. or the oblate spheroid, brother. Now, you said firmament. I said the Hebrew says harakia, not haraka, not this snow globe that you're showing us. Now, I asked you, did the sky touch the ground?
I said yes.
Yes or no?
I said yes. But you call it
All
sky.
right. Have you ever grabbed a handful of sky? Because you're talking about sky as if it's movable, like it's bendable,
Have you ever
like
seen a
it's
flat?
bendable, like it's metal, brother. You acting like the sky is metal or glass, like you can actually shape it without using physics, without using motion. The spin, the moon that tugs on the atmosphere, that actually gives it its bulge at the equator. Brother, you coming here in front of the world, in front of a scholarly platform with no data. And I gave you the model before you said it. I gave you the model before you presented this monstrosity. And you have not give us one piece of data. Talking about Masons. I'm going to say to you, Khufu, have a good day, brother. And I want to encourage you to go back and listen to what I said and go deep into the, brother, listen to me. Please listen to me. I want you to go back after this show and pull up everything that I said. And I want you to read every word that you can find concerning the Coriolis effect. Every word as relates to momentum. Every word as relates to what the earth is, what shape it is, and why it's that shape. Go look up every word. Listen. Go look up every word, brother, please. Go look up every word of what creates high tide and low tide, because all of the ancient Semitic and African cultures fed themselves when the high tide came in through fishing. The high tide don't work on a flat earth. You haven't given us nothing, and I have to cut you off because you're just playing games. And I don't do this conspiracy stuff. It makes me angry and it's disrespectful to me because I give this thought and I prepared a lesson for you. Now, brother, again, peace and blessing to you, brother Khufu. And that's the end of our going back and forth, brother. All right.
All right. We got another brother named I Am. Peace and love, brother. You're coming. All right. You're a flat earther. Let me ask you, do you have questions, or can you answer 2-3 questions before you get any questions out?
I can answer questions or give you questions. It don't matter either way.
All right. I like the energy that you have. Hey Cheryl, how you doing? Are you a flat earther, Cheryl?
I'm still not sure which way. I don't know if it's round or flat, so I can't say I'm a flat earther.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry about that.
Thank you. All right, go ahead, Mike. Ask the brother a question. Go ahead.
All right. Okay. Let's give him a new question because that one was, I guess, that's a little bit too much.
Oh, hold up. Before you go, brother, are you a Bible believer?
Yes.
There you go. You're right. You're right.
But I see it in a different way. I see it as an African thing, like
that's fine. But do you see the flat Earth in the Bible though?
Do I think flat Earth is in the Bible?
Yeah.
Yes, I also think flat Earth is in the Bible as well.
So ask him a question about that then, Mike. That's in your alley right there.
All right, here we go.
Sure.
Waya as Elohim et harakia wayabdil bin hamiyam.
I don't speak.
Asir mit. I'm showing it to you. Just hold it on 1 second. Okay. Mitahat. I'm sorry, I'm making a mistake because you cut me off there. Mitahat la rakia. That's the word again in question. Ubin hamayim asir me al rakia 3 times. Ha or wahikin. Okay. The end is a little bit funny because I'm looking at it without dots. Sure, but here it is. Rakia. Okay. And you can look that word up. And I'll pull it up, grab my book. I got a book right here next to me. Okay. The question is, what is the firmament? And I'm not sure if you saw what that brother presented earlier, but okay, what is your model about the firmament? Is it as relates to the definition of rakia? And I'll give you the definition so we can be sure.
Sure.
Firmament, okay? Firmament. Now, what is the firmament? How does it relate to your flat earth? And how do we keep a sky over our head, brother? Okay.
The firmament is just meaning the arc of the sky. It's just like the arc, the heavens, or you would say the water that floats. I mean the water that's above us, the arc of the sky. That's what the firmament was supposed to mean, and I think that's what he was trying to pretty much say out there, that the arc is the arc of the sky is the firmament. Now I'm not talking about the Hebrew version, because I know the Hebrew version have a different meaning, but I also know the Hebrew version with the people who say this, they wrote the Hebrew Bible, which I kind of think that is coming from white people, but that the Hebrew Bible also states is also like an arc of the sky, if that's correct.
Yes, the word is hoag.
Right. So if you look up, if you actually look what's in the sky, we all know that it's actually hydrogen and oxygen, the same thing that's in the water. So when we say the arc of the sky or the water of the sky, we also say that it's water on the ground, above and below. So that's where we get the water above and water below thing that's in the Bible.
Okay, now the below, and that's beautiful, and I'm with you so far. Absolutely. So when you say above and below, what is the below? Are you talking about the waters that are actually on the actual ground that the scripture says that he separated waters from waters? Or are you talking about water reservoirs under the surface? Or are you talking about, again, as I asserted, more of a oblate spheroid, that the water is not only arcing over the top, as you say, with the clouds, but it's arcing all around 360 degrees around the mass that is the rock of Earth.
Right. You get different shapes when it comes to Earth believers, but me knowing the African, what I call the African Bible, the way we African the Bible up, it's pretty much the water and the below is the ice. That's what we come with a difference of water, because ice is still water. It's just a solid water. So when it says the arc of the sky and the arc and the water below, it's both of it is water, but it's two different types of water. One of a solid water and one of a open bubble like water.
Okay. Well, the Bible refers to actual water tables being under the ground.
Yeah,
it talks about
water in one place.
In the book of Job, it talks about it talks about in the book of Job, which is preferably the oldest referenced book in the Bible, right? It talks about the springs of water at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, the springs of water.
We're not talking about aquifers. We're not talking about aquifers. This what I'm trying to get you to tell us or teach us is, okay, you said that the water is ice under the ground. That's what basically you're saying in a layman's version, right?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Does that water ever melt? Because the brother before you came and he said that not only I asserted that the Marianas Trench is a very deep trench, but there are super deep boreholes called colas in the earth that go down, I mean, way deep, right? Where does that relate to those things? Like if there's holes, chasms in the earth, and we've never seen ice down there to that degree.
Right.
And as a matter of fact, we see temperature difference immensely rising.
Temperature.
Yes, because we have even hot springs. We have hot springs at low points under the earth in the deep parts of the ocean.
Right.
Just as we have those aquifers, we have hot springs all over. And you know, I'm in California. There's hot springs even up here on higher elevations, right?
Yeah.
So we understand that the water that's under the earth is not locked up in ice. That's proven. We've proven that.
That's not proven because only way they ever find the core of the earth, I believe the deepest they ever went was 18 miles. So we really don't know what's in the core of the earth. We just know
you said 18
high.
miles. He said 8 miles.
18.
Which one of them is more true? 18?
I believe it was 18. That's what they said. I'm not sure. But yeah.
Hold on a second. This is Garfield. I gotta ask you a question, brother.
Sure.
All right. And I want people to pay attention to this. Now, my brother just said whether it's 8 miles or 18 miles, they say. Who is the they?
Thank you.
The people who's
got that type of information, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
You know.
Now, those people that record that type of information, do they say that the Earth is flat or they say it's round? Or it's a globe?
They also say the Earth is round.
Okay, so why would you take? So that's why you're kind of nonchalant with the information.
We can't say all of it as a whole. Some of it could be right and some of it could be wrong. I could say 1 + 1 is right. I mean, 1 + 1 is 2. That's right. But if I say, hey, the Earth is round, that could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? So just because they got one thing right doesn't mean the other thing is wrong.
Good answer. But let me ask you this: who's all right? So if the Earth is flat, right? How long is the Earth?
How long is the Earth?
Yeah.
Man, this is pretty big, man.
I'm sorry, brother.
Yeah, I didn't, I can't give you the exact measures of it.
All right. So when I was in,
I know,
processing, hold on, brother. When I was in processing the Nation of Islam, they gave us something called actual facts, and we had to remember.
Yeah, that's right.
All those 15, 20 years ago, I still remember them like it was yesterday. So when they asked about the Earth, what's the circumference of the Earth? We said 196,940,000 square miles. We have 139,685,000 that's water, and we have 57,255,000 that's land. Now, the human body is 70 to 75% water. So we use that to say how we're connected. This is what the 5%ers would say, like Erica Badu and them. They would say that we are connected to the earth. So we are part of the earth, and that's why we have this percentage of water, because that percentage is really what the whole earth has. All right. I say that to say this.
Okay.
If all this information that I spewed out to get my ex, or potentially get my ex in the Nation of Islam, my name Garfield X. So if I had to spew all this information out, so that means all this information is incorrect, right?
Some of it.
I want to know what is the flat earthers' actual facts, because I had to study all this stuff. And so you're telling me I'm wasting my time studying all that stuff, bro? That's what you're telling me?
No, I ain't saying you wasting your time. I'm just saying some of it could be wrong or some of it could be right. So when you say how would I know this? It's basically going what I see. I mean, I can literally go on a plane and look down, go all the way from Flight to America all the way to Africa, and know that I went through a flat surface. When I see the lay of the land, I also see that it's more of a flat surface. So it's kind of like I don't.
All right. Forget about the.
Can I give him a question here? Because I have a beautiful.
Hold on, Mike.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right, I gotta be fair. Let me ask you this, brother. Have you ever seen a picture of the Earth before?
Of course, you talking about the global Earth thing?
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. Have you ever seen a picture from NASA or when they're live? I remember I did a post one day when they were broadcasting live from outer space, and they were moving, and you could see the Earth. You could see the shape of the Earth. So I'm saying, what would you accept as facts? Because if you're gonna accept science, you gotta accept all of science. That's how I do it. I basically accept the consensus. So that means I will accept what the majority of scholars agree on, right? Whether it's dealing with scholarship, whether it's dealing with the flat Earth, whether it's dealing with evolution. I gotta agree with the consensus. I gotta be consistent. I can't fake it. Now, if the consensus of scientists say that the Earth they're not saying it's round like a circle, but it has some sort of oval shape.
Like an eye shape, right? Like a
Yeah,
shape of a burger.
pretty much, right.
Yeah.
And because if you look at what Mike put up earlier, it's actually like an eye shape a little bit. All right, so now let me ask you this now. What would be proof for you to say that the earth is not flat?
Well, in that eye shape, it's more of a flat Earth. In that eye shape, when we say flat, I guess we just trying to catch your attention when we say flat, but it's not necessarily flat. We also know that it's a circle. So when we say the circle of the Earth, we also know that it's a circle, but we also know it's the shape of an eye. So it's like a big hamburger, right? And the bottom of the bun would be like the ice. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, one second.
Okay.
The bottom would be
I understand
the bottom bun would be like the ice, and the top.
So you're not really a flat earther then. You're
that's right.
But that is a flat
that's
Earth,
right. He's explaining what an oblate spheroid is, but exactly when you have an oblate spheroid, you have to understand that the bottom is not the same width as the sides where the Earth actually bulges, or what you say in the eye shape, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you a question here, brother. Let me give you a beautiful question to bring this into perspective for you.
Sure.
Okay, and it doesn't have to be a question. It could be a thought. All right, relevant thought to what we're dealing with today. North Korea, right?
Yeah.
The other day the people in Hawaii got a missile, a missile code launch thing, and text. Everybody got texts and saying it get in the shelters, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Now, they have a reaction time that they deal with, right? Mm-hmm. That will allow them to get in a safe place, right? If there's a missile launch, they've worked out the numbers, right?
Okay.
Now, that's not the question. The question is intercontinental ballistic missiles. Mm-hmm. If North Korea could ever hit the United States with an intercontinental ballistic missile, mm-hmm. it cannot fly beneath that firmament. Why? Because actually, if you fired a ballistic missile mm-hmm. from continent to continent, it would hit the wrong trajectory every single time. Because of many factors. So what do they do? Here, hold on, one second. Mm-hmm. So what do they do? A ballistic missile, you don't see them flying off parallel with the ground. You don't see them going off in a 40-degree arc. You see them, one second, brother, one second. You see them firing them directly into the air. North Korea, China, India, United States, everybody that does it, they have to fire it outside of the atmosphere and chart a trajectory, right? Mm-hmm. Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Right.
It depends on how. It depends on.
See, I'm saying that because you said that you're more akin to things that you see. You said you got on the plane and you notice that you think you flew flat, straight.
Yeah, parallel, right?
Like. Yeah. I'm saying to you, if you want to hit another continent with a missile.
Yeah, you move off an arc shape.
Because this thing that we just described as an oblate spheroid, it spins, and it is oblate because of its spin and its partner, the moon.
Well, oblate
I'm
is
saying to
arc.
you, one second, let me get to it. I know it seems long, but I want you to understand, because this ain't just for you. This is for thousands of people that's going to hear this. Sure, right? Sure. Mm-hmm. North Korea never launches those terrible missiles parallel. They always do it up trajectory, and it falls down in Japan Sea, right? So if that is an actual reality and you see that, why is it that you're talking about a flat Earth? Because that is the same thing as talking about flying from continent to continent. Those planes have to be on a schedule for a reason. They even have to fly at a certain altitude for a reason at different times. That's why I mentioned the jet stream earlier, being a part of the upper atmosphere. Yeah. All of these things have to be dealt with. It's not as simple as saying, brother, that you believe a flat Earth and you believe it's an oblate spheroid, because even that is contradictory and it is very confusing, not just to Garfield, because he just said it, but it's confusing to people that are of less mental capacity. So
Sure.
when you come in, these things that are common sense, we can look at them. We know you can't fire a continental ballistic missile from California to Korea under the clouds. We know this. We can look up all types of physics and all types of ballistics information. What do you say to that?
Well, you kind of got your thought organization wrong. If I think that's
I
that's the
can't. I
best way
don't
to
think
say it.
my
No,
thought
but
organization
pretty
can
much.
never be wrong.
Oh,
My
okay, my
thought
bad.
organization is not wrong because it's what I meant to ask you. What
Sure.
you hear and what you want to explain may be of a deficit. That's probably why you have a problem with it.
Oh no,
But
no.
brother, I'm gonna ask you just like the other guy. I just gave you some priceless information that is right as rain and you can see it.
Right. If I
Will
can
you
answer
deal
it.
with it?
Right.
Intercontinental ballistic missiles have to be fired outside of our upper atmosphere and have to come back in at a trajectory that has to do with actual Earth spin.
See. Okay.
Now, they got you under a threat of North Korea,
Hold on one
brother.
second.
This is real. This is real.
Yeah,
This
if
is
I
not
can explain.
conspiracy.
Let him respond. Let him respond.
If I can explain. Um,
Mhm.
I definitely agree with you when you say how you take off with a rocket, but you got to also realize a rocket can also fire parallel. If the rocket was more of a shape of a gun, it can actually fire parallel. It don't have to always go straight up as an arc and going down. But even so, that arc shape also shows that how this Earth works. It works as an arc. So when they fire that missile, of course it's gonna go as an arc. When you fly off a plane, you go straight up and go as an arc and come straight down. So even both of your examples shows and proves the way of an arc. Then when I say the oblique form is just a circle, that's not true because like I said, it can be in the shape of a hamburger. If you actually look at a hamburger from straight down, you can see that it's just a circle shape, you know, and it can be an arc on top of that. So it's like it's that's why I said some of it you kind of got me wrong, and then on top of that, none of this stuff makes sense on a global Earth thing. That that the Earth can spin, right? And yet we cannot feel it spinning. Like if that was the case, all of us would be going sideways right now. If the Earth, you want to talk about the arc of the sky, as the firmament, as we were talking about, that arc doesn't prove how the whole arc can be on top of a global Earth. It don't that arc that sky don't flip a global Earth thing. If that was the case in the Bible, when the Bible said the arc of the sky, and to have a global Earth, it don't fit that arc of the sky scenario. And then it's another thing on that. When you flying on an airplane to as a global Earther, you would be more flying in sideways, not more of a parallel shape. Like if I want to go from here to China, right? And if China supposed to be below us or something like that, I'll be flying as if I'm going down. I'll probably get a headache because I'll probably be sitting upside down, you know. If that's how global Earth wanted
Brother, can I stop you before you go too far into that? Because what you're doing is actually, because I don't want you to ruin your credibility.
Oh, sure.
I'm gonna just refer you back to the earlier part of my presentation.
Sure.
I gave you the intercontinental ballistic stuff, but I gave these people that are listening ballistics as relates to bullets, bullet trajectory, and I gave them a word called momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And how that works if you were to fire a bullet from Louisiana to Michigan in a perceived due north pattern. I showed them through the Coriolis effect how and why it would not land due north. And this is another actual theory that can be proven even through military science.
Yeah, but it's
The
also
bullet,
proven
brother, one second.
flat Earth.
The bullet,
Mhm.
you can try it 1,000,000 times and it'll never fail. I'm telling you.
Right. Mhm.
You can fire the bullet from Louisiana to Michigan and it will never land in Michigan on this earth because Louisiana is closer to the equator. That bulge that you're speaking about, that I perceive that you're only half right about. Okay. I'm saying to you, momentum is conserved because of the spin of the earth and it causes a dip to the right.
Why can't we
This
feel
is
it?
exactly 1 second, brother. You're really quick on talking, but I want you to be quick to listen, slow to speak, quick to listen.
Mhm.
That's why they have to fire missiles out of the atmosphere for long distance ballistics, even intercontinental ballistics.
Mhm.
Okay. They are
I mean,
actually accounting
fact.
for, brother, 1 second, please. They are accounting for the Earth's shape, the Earth's atmosphere, momentum, resistance, distance.
Mhm.
All of that is all added in when you deal with a word called trajectory. Okay.
Mhm.
These are things that you can't just say, well, they said, or I don't believe that, or that don't sound. No, brother. If it's hard, concrete, that you can prove it over and over and over, this is what makes science theory stick and last throughout the generations. Repeatable models, repeatable exercises. Now, this is my last statement to you.
Mhm.
When you come back to anyone that disagrees with you about a flat earth, and I don't want to be disrespectful and speak condescendingly. I'm just saying, when you speak about it again, these things that I'm speaking about, I think you should explore them fully through physics, through meteorology, and through ballistics that have to do with long distance ballistics. Okay.
Right. But
All right,
even
brother.
yeah, I understand. Even with that,
All right.
if I can give my closing statement,
Yes, sir.
even with that, your whole trajectory also fit a flat Earth. So it's kind of we're kind of fighting for the same thing. And on top of that, when you come to science, everything they say about science is not technically true. Some things they don't know about. It might just give a theory or give a lie. So you can't really give too much believe too much theory. As I can see, if I
Give me an example of that.
I'm sorry.
Give me an example of what you're saying. Because we got to be careful because folks like to
That's
quote
right.
science. Science is the study of nature.
The
That's
study
all.
of nature, right, right. And
Yeah. But that doesn't mean science can't be right. Because but the great thing about science is it could change tomorrow because there's something new that reveals truth to us because our only goal is really truth. So we got to be careful because I don't like this little conspiracy talk where we say, oh, and they, when you use the term they don't want this or you can't trust science. When you talk like that, it's a turn off because I'm gonna tell you why.
yeah,
Everything we do, bro, has to do with science. Some of us say we live natural and we still go to the doctor. Why? Because that's a part of science. So everything we do, we have children and we go to a hospital. That's a part of science. So
yeah.
we can't disown. Is either we're gonna accept science or we
So
just
well, flat Earth as well.
hey. All right. So finish your point, brother.
What I was just,
I got somebody coming in,
if I
and
can finish. Oh, my bad, man.
go ahead, beloved. Go ahead, bro. And I love the conversation. By the way, no arguing. There's no
That's right.
interrupting. But hey,
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, when it comes to the science, yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but you gotta understand, sometimes scientists can be wrong. That's one why I say about they. I mean, scientists, the ones who's actually study science, sometimes can be wrong because everybody could be a scientist. Everybody studies nature. But when you say a scientist, the ones who represent a specific community, that's what I was talking about. They. But when I say I study nature and stuff like that, and why flat Earth is also part of science, is why science can be wrong sometimes. Because if you look at Dr. Sabi proved science is wrong by simply
nope,
knowing about the body.
nope,
So,
nope,
so
nope,
when
nope.
So yeah, you know what I'm saying?
We're not going there, bro.
Nope.
I apologize. We are not going there. No.
My bad. I thought I was rocking with him.
No.
We are rocking with Dr. Sebi, brother. We love Dr. Sebi and what his contribution was. We're not gonna say he's.
Yeah, but he also proved science is wrong. You know.
No. Hold on a second, though.
No, that's not right, brother.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. Let me say this. Dr. Sebi, rest in power. He did his thing. He made us more aware of things that we can eat and how to be healthy. He made us aware. Now, that doesn't mean Dr. Sebi was right or wrong. I'll say this about Dr. Sebi. Anybody that talks about Dr. Sebi needs to go and read his court records in New York. If you haven't read the court records, don't talk about it.
Okay.
Because the court records will tell you what is what and what he did. So if you haven't read the court records on Dr. Sebi, don't talk about it.
Okay.
And let me add one thing else. When we talk about assumption as relates to science, the hypothetical is always never asserted in a mass teaching. The hypothetical is saved for model and research. And the biggest example you have of that is Geneva, Switzerland, with the CERN machine. They're studying the subatomic particle field, and they have some hypothetical conclusions, like words like, and write these down, remember them, Kaluza and Klein towers. These are hypothetical theories that they can't prove, but they can show you the things that are the fallout from that. And so research is never asserted on the mass public without actual repetition. Right, brother?
You're right.
And that's the same way we ought not to teach our people. I mean, that's the way we ought to teach our people. Excuse me.
When you say not,
if it can't be, I said, excuse me.
Not teach our people.
If it can't be, that's the thing that we should teach our people. If it can be repeatable, then we are to teach it to our people. And everything I've given in this presentation, it is repeatable, and it has been even infallible since the first recordation of weather and event. And so, brother, I say to you, peace and black power, and it was a great conversation. Great conversation. And I remember some of the things that you asserted, like the water, the ice under there, because I hadn't heard a flat earther say that particular model. And I'm gonna add that to what I've what I've experienced. So you gave me something new tonight.
Yeah, if I could finish my closing statement, I mean, you taught me something, especially I got to look up this stuff you're talking about. And I didn't know about that court stuff. I mean, I kind of knew, but I'm going to go back and check on that stuff again. So y'all definitely it gave me info on that. But if I can just say my little piece and I just get out your hair.
Bro, I love the energy, all right? Thank you, bro. Thanks for not coming on and rowing and all that stuff. I got Jermaine he just logged in. So let the brother finish his final thought. And Jermaine come in. There is another brother who is a part of Brother Sanchez camp that's also going to come in. All right? Okay, go ahead, my brother.
Especially when it comes to the flat earth thing, we got to understand sometimes, man. Sometimes, we can't just be always accepting to what scientists say. We also got to do our own research and our own study on this natural world. And when we study this natural world, we can kind of say is we living on a flat surface. So and what it seems to us. And when it comes to global Earth, they want us to believe that we don't really know what we're seeing or don't know exactly how we feel. Like they want us to believe we're sitting sideways. Some people in America are probably sitting sideways right now, and Africa is sitting upside down somewhere. So I mean, we can actually feel we all sitting straight up. I mean, that's pretty much obvious. I mean, that's what nature. And when I say this about the Bible, because the Bible keep proving us wrong. I mean, I have to realize sometimes that every time I go deep into something, it keeps bringing me right back to the Bible. You know what I'm saying? I went deep into Egypt, and it brought me right back to the Bible. I went deep into science, and and all that stuff. It brought me right back to the Bible. I mean, it's you kind of got to put the Bible in stone sometime, But when it comes to the flat Earth, we just want people to understand that you're not crazy, you're not spinning. You don't if you don't feel it, you don't. They want us to close our eyes, and we can see, man. We can literally see. We can feel what we feel. We feel we're not moving. We see we see a flat surface. We see the skies above us, but yet they want us to believe we're sideways. We sit upside down, and you can't just all believe what they're saying. And when it comes to the scientists, I mean, to those people in space, you gotta understand, people in space they don't look at the whole earth. You know what I'm saying? They haven't sit back, went that far and look at the whole earth. They look at the whole earth as if they see a sea and can't see no further from this sea. And that's pretty much what I wanted to say, man.
Hey, before you go, Jeff, do you think one of the main problems with flat Earth is just the matter that y'all just don't trust the government?
I didn't hear you say one more time, bro.
Do you think one of the main problems with flat Earthers is that you just don't trust the government?
I want to say I want to say the government, because on flat Earth is more of the science, the scientists.
Yeah,
so
but
it's not more of the government per se, but more of the scientists who's trying to say something or give their theories that could be totally false.
Oh, okay.
You know what I encourage you to do if you don't trust the government, brother?
It's the science.
I encourage you to do?
Scientists.
I encourage you to do this if you don't trust the government. I encourage you not to tell our children and our people. Oh, no, okay. But even if you're not saying it, we understand what the conspiracy theorist community means and what they project.
Okay.
But I'm saying to you and all of the thousands of you that are like you, brother, let's start validating what you believe by facts. By facts. Because, like I said, no disrespect.
Yeah.
The first brother didn't bring any. And, you know what I'm saying, as respectful as you are and as good as your energy is, I didn't get anything out of that as far as, comprehending what you guys believe in.
Do you want to comprehend?
So I'm saying to you, and brother, please, I'm saying to you that you guys need to lend yourself to concrete proof. And if you don't believe the government, listen closely. Go do the research like the brothers that you may have just mentioned. Dr. Sebi, Dr. Ben, Ivan Van Sertima.
Yeah.
All of these people went and did, brother. Yeah. All of these people, they didn't become conspiracy theorists. They became listen to me, brother. Listen to me. They didn't become conspiracy theorists. They didn't drop out of society. They didn't drop out of school, and they didn't drop out of thought. You see, they went to do the work that they mistrusted what they had learned about, the things that didn't clap hands, the things that wasn't linear, the things that didn't match and didn't make sense. And those people are respected world over. They may not be voiced by the white academia world, but they know them and they know what they put out. Okay, so let's not do this, man. You guys that are flat earthers, stop the conspiracy stuff, man, because it sounds so ignorant. Not disrespectful. I'm telling you, it sounds ignorant. And when other races hear us talking about, well, they say this and they say that, and what about this? That's Sanchez's favorite thing. Well, if that's the case, then what about this? I'm gonna say it one more time. That's Sanchez's favorite hook that grabs these poor people that don't want to go out and do the research, that don't want to sit down and do some data and crunch some numbers and find out if the government's lying. No, Sanchez said, well, if that's the case, well, what about this? And let's get another question and another psychosis going. Y'all, we got to stop this as Black people.
But we are talking about scientists, right? Not the government, correct?
No, we're talking about actual
science,
truth and repeatable
Yeah,
repeatable
but he was trying to
theories.
make the point he wasn't talking about the government. He's specifically talking about believing all of the science that is out there.
Okay, the
That's I
science
don't.
that is
Yeah, he
out
wasn't
there
saying the
that he's
government because you.
the science that he's talking about that's out there is propagated by the government, sister. Do you not know that all of the upper echelons of information that has to do with science is controlled by the world's governments, and it is doled out by the world's governments? So he has a point, but I'm saying don't do it the foolish way. Don't just throw the baby out with the bathwater, and then you've been in school for 10 years and you got a degree, and you say, no, it's worth nothing. And you go live as a transient because you don't want to be in society. Everybody's lying. They saying that the earth is round. They said it's a globe. He said it's an oblate spheroid. The government's lying to me. What does that give our children?
Yeah.
Nothing but an unpositive, unproductive society.
Hold
We
on.
can't live like that as Black people.
Let me share this. This is an article, right? And shout out to Jeremy. We're gonna come to you in a second. Let me just read something real quickly about this article, right? Now, is this a conspiracy? This picture? It says here, the view of the Earth horizon was taken by an expedition 7 crew member onward the International Space Station on June 13th, 2003. This is a lie, right? But this is a lie. All right, look at this now. I want y'all to look at this article. I'll put it in the chat. One of the best documented methods for determining the Earth's roundness was first performed, to our knowledge, by the ancient Greeks. Listen to this simple test. This was achieved by comparing the shadows of sticks in different locations. When the sun was directly overhead in one place, the stick there cast no shadow. At the same time, in a city around 500 miles north, the stick there did cast a shadow. If the earth were flat,
Garfield, they say they can't see.
they can't what?
See it on YouTube. You got it clicked on your screen?
They can't see it?
Yeah, reshare it.
Hold on a second. All right, but either way, let me just finish reading this. If the earth were flat, then both sticks should show the same shadow or lack of, because they would be positioned at the same angle towards the sun. The ancient Greeks found the shadows were different because the earth was curved, and so the sticks were at different angles. They then used the difference in these angles to calculate the circumference of the earth. They managed to get it to within 10% of the true value. Not bad for around 250 BC. This is science right here. So this information led to other information. So I'm just saying, another piece of evidence for a globe is the difference between the night skies in the northern and southern hemispheres. I think Mike talked about northern and southern hurricanes earlier. The view is completely different because the earth beneath you is pointing in a different direction. If the earth were flat, the view should be the same. This can be made even easier by simply comparing when it is night and day in each country. You can observe the planets as well. They all rotate, and watching over the course of a few days gives a clear picture. They are spherical rather than flat. The chance that most of the planets are spherical but the earth is flat seems very unlikely, which Mike said earlier. Fake science. But when science experiments are performed incorrectly, they can appear to give the opposite result. If they are shared through social media, these false ideas can be spread quickly with no one to point out their flaws. One common example is Bedford level experiment, a form which was first carried out in 1838 and used to prove the earth was flat for over 30 years before an explanation was found. The experiment involved placing a marker at a set height at either end of a canal about 6 miles long. If the earth is round, then one marker should appear lower than the other when viewed at the same time through a telescope, because the furthest marker would have fallen away with the curvature of the earth. But it was reported that the markers are the same height, suggesting the earth is actually flat. Modern day flat earth theorists still quote this experiment. The problem is this: doesn't take into account the optical effect of the air over the intervening water, which bends or refracts the light as it travels from the marker to the telescope makes it look like they're the same height. The solution is to use multiple markers along the length of the canal, which when observed all appear to be different heights. Perhaps the most impressive experiment that even schools can do today is send a camera up in a high altitude balloon. The footage will show that from a high enough vantage point, you can see the curvature of the Earth. This is what Mike Hughes will find if he ever makes his rocket work. All right. All right. I just wanted to point that out to the people out there who love information, and there's some experiments we could do on our own, and see for ourselves. All right. So I got two more people in the chat. That's I know my brother Jermaine is here. He's a flat earther. And
no, I'm not a flat earther, brother.
Oh, okay. My bad. My apologies. Don't jump down my throat. All right. And Mike, you're doing good tonight, bro. You're doing good tonight, man.
Thank you,
numbers are good. The people are loving you. And you're gonna have your awesome flat earthers and so forth. But Jermaine, what do you got to say, Jermaine? Let me hear what you got to say.
No, I just wanted to get in here to have a discussion as well with the flat earthers to try to get an understanding of what is in their heads, because based on all of the arguments I've seen from flat earthers, it tends to lean towards what things seem like they are rather than what they actually are. And so when I for example, when many of us have done this, when we're riding in the car, the moon appears to follow you. But if I drive 100 miles and it seemed like the moon has followed me 100 miles, do I then conclude that the moon has actually followed me 100 miles? Or do I find out why it seems like that? And this is what their arguments tend to be based on. But when you look at our arguments against the flat earth, we show how certain empirical evidence is in fact impossible.
That's right.
On a flat earth. But yet, when they argue against the globe, is, well, if the sun is 93 million miles wide, it looks close. Or it's based on what they think things should be based on, their senses being food. Can I share my screen for a second?
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Drop that knowledge, bro.
Yes.
Okay. Indeed. Let me share my screen. I just, I don't know if, can you see my screen?
Hold on a second.
Yeah, that perspective picture I saw it went down though.
Okay, this is what they call a trapezoid room. Your mind has built-in assumptions, so therefore your mind tells you that the lines in this room are parallel. So even though you can know that it's a trapezoid room, you still can't make out the difference in looking at these two people. One seems like a giant and one seems like a very small person. But even though you know it's a trapezoid room and you know it's an optical illusion, your mind or your brain cannot make out the difference. And this is what I'm saying to flat earthers, is just because when you're on the surface or when you're elevated a little bit above the earth, it may seem flat. But we have tools that allow us to measure what we see and to be able to deduce what is really there rather than what it seems like. So I just wanted to start off by saying that. Thanks.
All right, cool. We've been on for like 2 hours. I'm waiting for one more brother. But I mean, I don't know, man. I don't think there's anything that you can tell. You see, it's like religion. It's like a new religion. And what pissed me off was the fact that Mike, I go back and forth with a lot of these crazy Hebrew Israelites, and then for them to add the flat Earth to the shit, I was like, nah.
It's get insane, don't it?
Hell no. That's like a double whammy right there, man. That shit is crazy. crazy. I'm serious. Where we get from, and then we feel like we are right. I mean, I've never really looked into the situation of a flat earth or that, but once you start hearing the conspiracy talks and people they're using different what they call them pronouns, you know, and then they start saying they conspiracy talk.
If that's the case, then what about this?
Yeah, you know,
Sanchez.
I can't with that right now, man. I can't. I'm waiting for this one brother that they claim is a Sanchez guy. You know, they text me and send the link. I'm just waiting for him to come on because I'm pretty much done, man. I don't even want to talk no more.
We done shut this one down.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the person. I give them 3 minutes. If they don't call, we done. Shirley, got any questions for the guys? Got to get the ladies in here, man.
Yeah, sure.
No. I mean, I heard everything, and it sounds, you know, both sides, good arguments, you know.
But Cheryl, you don't think it's something that puzzles you because you, like you said, I believe that you don't have like a confirmation either way. So is it anything that questions you or about the globe or
Well,
the flat
no,
earth?
I mean, my thing is, I'm kind of like Garfield. I have not really researched it, and you know, who knows what's really going on. I mean, we can listen to the science or what they allow us to, you know, the information they allow out to the public, but it's a lot of things going on in the background that we're not privy to.
True. Hey.
So that's my part that I get, like, I'm not sure which way, you know, what they're doing, or I ain't gonna say they, but
Right.
what
I know what you're saying.
scientists are doing. Yeah, I don't know what scientists are doing in the background that we just don't have that information. And I feel that if your scope of understanding, like full understanding of what's going on in the front and in the back, you can't really give a 100% concrete answer because you don't know that are going on.
Right.
I don't have equipment that can shoot up in the sky and detect whether or not it's flat, round, oval shape. Who knows?
Hey, hold on a second. We got 203 people watching, right? I want to ask y'all a question. Would you believe me if I said I saw a UFO the other day when I was on a plane? I'm going to ask, press 1 if you believe me. Would you believe that Garfield saw a UFO the other day when I was on a plane? Press 1 if you believe me.
I wouldn't have no reason to believe you were lying. I mean, maybe it was unknown to you.
Hold on. No. There's no problem with that. Now, I'm going to tell y'all what happened to me the other day, right? The other day, and I know Sonny the listener, he's like, Garfield is crazy as hell. What happened to me? I saw a UFO. I'm going to tell y'all what happened, though. I'm on the plane, but when the sun shines, it gives a shadow of the plane on the cloud. And when it gives a reflection to the cloud while you're in the sky, it looks round like a UFO. But it's a reflection of the plane. So when you remember the other day, I think it was like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, they showed a pilot said that he saw a UFO. That's what he saw. That's exactly what he saw. He saw a reflection of the sunlight, and when it reflects to the clouds, it looks like a goddamn UFO. And trust me, I took my phone out and I said, I'm going to make this is going to go global right now. And I feel.
And you know what, Garfield? You know what's so dangerous about that word UFO?
Yeah.
A lot of people take that word UFO and assign to it everything that a UFO is not. There's even different classes of UFOs. A UFO is simply an unidentified flying object.
Right.
And perception, that's right, perception lends a lot of credence to what people see as, you know, unidentifiable or identifiable. And that doesn't make a person that sees it wrong right, and it'll make you right and make them wrong. The simple thing is to find out what the absolute truth is and the thing that can be repeated. Now you end it with the absolute truth and the thing that can be repeated, because I've seen the same thing on airplanes too. I fly around a lot for music and my family.
Dang, y'all was a
And
flight
that is
attendant, and
actually
I've never seen that.
You've never seen that?
When
You've never seen the shadow
No,
of the
I'm
airplane on the clouds?
a flight attendant, and I've been on flights. Yeah, I've never seen that.
Go to the window,
You've
right?
never seen the shadow of an airplane
And I was
under
a
you.
flight attendant for years. I had never seen that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe y'all don't look out the window like that, sir. I would imagine.
You wouldn't see it because you're a flight attendant.
Right.
Oh, trust me, Garfield. I wasn't working hard. Trust me.
Right on. Well, but you know what, Garfield, man? The sister is saying something that's really true.
Hold up.
But I think that
hold up, Mike. I'm waiting for you who have been exposed to come on in, but the brother, I don't know if he's punking out or he don't want to. He don't like Mike. I don't know. I don't see him in the chat.
They don't want to come in because they know. Garfield, I've been dealing with these brothers for. I think I've been the sole person dealing with this like for 3 years, and they all know me. They all know I require data. I require repeatable stuff that you're doing to say, well, if that's the case, you'd improve the Coriolis effect, but what about this? I can't do that. And they all know, they know that about me. I'm not going to accept that, okay, we don't have an instrument to go dig down to find out how deep our flat earth is.
You know,
no. The ancients, the Dogon didn't have $2 billion instruments to see Sirius B. You understand? So we can't weaken ourselves like that. That's actually a crutch, and it's a psychosis. That's a holdover from slavery. To say, even if the massa give us food, we don't eat it, but we ain't gonna go out and grow ours either, and we ain't gonna do anything else. We're just gonna die, or we're gonna just linger on. That's crazy. That's a slave's mind. I said that our great scholars didn't take everything and throw it out the window. They kept some stuff and they went to do the research on what they saw flaws in. These brothers do not have the right to come before us and tell us when we got data, information, given thoughts, structured thoughts, and all of us been to school to some degree. These brothers don't have no right to come out here before our people and disrespect our intellect. That's disrespectful.
Yes, I agree. But I just want to say something towards what the sister.
In the flat earth too?
Huh?
Is that correct?
What'd you say, Garfield?
Tommy Sotomayor believes in the flat earth too?
Oh yeah, that's
somebody else. I don't know. Wow. You know what, Mike? If Sanchez reached out to me, would you be willing to debate him on the channel?
Absolutely. I've talked to Sanchez. I've talked to Right Angle. And we all talked, I think, on the phone. I'm not sure if that was Sanchez or Right Angle that I talked to twice. But Right Angle threatened to grab my shirt because he couldn't come up with no answers. But I would love to talk to Sanchez and, you know, prove what I just proved again.
Man, I said Mike is the best at this. I like LaRon at this. And there's a dude on Facebook, Quincy Hot. Those are the 3 people. Give me them 3 people, and I'll ride with them with this flat Earth stuff. I'm
right on, my brother.
You ain't go. They hate LaRon. You know that already. Cause LaRon, crazy with his crazy ass Southern accent. He's crazy.
Shout out to Decon, man.
Decon, man, from the Shield Squad, whatever they got going on over there. All right, man. Listen, this guy's supposed to come on. He ain't come on. We waited over 7 minutes. How does Alaska have 30 days? 30. Michael Israel is funny, man. He's funny too. Yo, this is crazy, man. Listen, man. All I gotta say is, as I say for everything, when we talk about stocks and bitcoins and credit repair and trade lines and all that stuff on the Morning Money Show on my timeline, I tell everybody to do their own research. And I'm gonna say it right now about this flat Earth, round Earth, whatever. Do your own research. That's all I'm saying. And that's gonna put us in a position where we're better off. But don't go around saying, hey, you know what, I'm right and you are wrong. You know.
But could I say this, Garfield? Looking at YouTube videos is not research, and I just want people to know that, because that's what most flat earthers come to flat Earth through YouTube.
Yeah, buddy.
The current wave, anyway.
It's very dangerous, man. Because they'll substitute those videos for primary research, and it's not.
Yeah.
Even the primary information on the video, after it becomes a video, it's not primary anymore.
Hey, Mike,
primary information is hard.
If you have time next week, let's do this again and see if anybody wants a challenge. Because you know what? I'm gonna tell Son. Well, I don't know if Son is still listening, but ain't nobody gonna beat Mike around Earth, because the questions Mike have, you have to know certain things in science, and most of these flat earthers don't know science. They don't. So the basic questions that Mike asks, they fumbling. Look at everybody that came on. They fumbling. They all fumbling. Indeed. That's how you defeat it. You got to test them and see how much they know, and they go from there.
That's right. That's right, brother.
All right, family. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close out the show. I'm gonna let Sister Cheryl say some last words for me, and then Mo, and then you know what? Let Jermaine go, then Mike, and then I'll let Mo and then Cheryl, let the ladies close it out. Go ahead, Mike or Jermaine, whichever one of y'all. Close out y'all, make y'all last statements. And then
okay, I'll be quick, man. I'll be quick. I've been running my mouth like crazy. So Garfield, I appreciate you, man, for real, for extending the opportunity to come here. And I appreciate all of the people that's in the chat, the brothers that came on, even them. Encourage them to go ahead and go do that research. What Garfield's saying, what I'm saying, do the research. And just, y'all just not, let's not accept being lazy for scholarship and get away from this conspiracy thing, because it's the most dangerous thing for Black people academically. So I say with that, subscribe to RBG Hebrew 2, and y'all see more from me later on. I love y'all, man. Peace and Black power.
Thank you, my brother. Brother Jermaine, go ahead, brother.
Yes, thanks, Garfield, for having me on, and the other panelists for participating, as well as the chat room. I just want to say that it's important that we definitely do our own research. And through our research, we will see and recognize that there are things that we can observe that will leave no doubt to what the shape of the earth is. And even though we know that there are things, as the sister said, that the government is hiding, this flat earth thing is not one of them. So just do your research and you will come to the conclusion that this is not one of those conspiracies. And thank you once again, Garfield.
All right, no problem. Go ahead, Mo. Peace, brother.
Oh, peace and love, y'all. Subscribe to the show. Look forward to seeing you guys on that Morning Money show on Garfield Reed's Facebook channel, or Black News 102, 6 p.m. on Wednesdays, or Man Cave, 10 a.m. on Sundays. Peace and love, everybody.
All right. Sister Cheryl, close us out, sis. You're
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me on, Mr. Garfield. I'm going to try to make the morning show in the morning. Well, are y'all having the show in the morning? It's Martin Luther King's birthday, so
that's what everybody's home.
Still gonna go on?
You're going to be asleep, so it don't matter.
Ladies and gentlemen, look up Garfield Reed on Facebook. I got the Morning Money Show every morning. Check it out. We talk about economic. We could argue flat earth all the day, but you know what? Rent is due next month. So you got to pay your bills. So, hey, tomorrow is Money Making Mondays too. We're going to talk about how you could put some money in your pocket. All right?
And how you going to tell me to close the show out and say something and then you...
Go ahead, sis. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Oh, I'm done. I'm done.
Spoil ass.
I'm done.
All right. Bye. Peace, all. Peace.